So the film I shot for this video is by the smallest film company in the world, apparently, Filmwashi. This film, Film S, was used for motion picture sound recording, which needs ultra high definition guaranteed by an anti-halation layer between the film base and the emulsion layer. So back in the day when you would record like 35mm film, you'd also have a film recording the sound with like light and waves. I don't super understand it, but I've seen some old like videos and it looks pretty cool. So I looked online for a few examples of this film being shot, and I found some like ridiculously high contrast images with either completely blown out highlights or some seriously underexposed shadows. So this told me that there's very little latitude with the film and I should shoot accordingly. As such, this film is recommended to be shot in overcast situations where the light can much better be diffused, but I didn't want to bring a tripod with me, so I went out on a very sunny and warm day back in the summer where I could have a decent shutter speed and a kind of mid-level aperture, so like between f5.6 and f8. With this in mind, I generally expected to have the sky blown out, and I tried to expose for the shadows and the midtones for my scenes, which were all like landscape ones. I took the film out on a nice walk with myself, my dad and the dogs around a little town called Corbridge, which is up in Northumberland, near where I live in the northeast of England. The landscape here is a lot of hills, fields, farmland and a little bit of forest. And also, we got to an old castle at one point. It's Castle Aden, or Aden Castle. The camera I used was my Yashica FR2 with its 50mm 1.7 lens. So let's have a look at the photos. Most of them actually came out pretty okay. You can see here, for the most part, the highlights are pretty well maintained, and this could be because certain shots had a bit more cloud cover, but once the highlights are gone, they're completely gone. Same goes for the shadows, as you can see here in these images of the forest floor. I think I was trying to expose for the highlights here, but then again, crappy light meter, and I couldn't be bothered to keep getting my phone out to use the light meter on there, so, you know, it is what it is. Something I find really interesting about this film, and due to the low sensitivity and original purpose as a sound recording film, is the weird kind of texture it has. It's not like any other grain structure I've seen, and I guess that could be that it doesn't really have any, or it could be the way I developed it. Either way, pretty cool. Also, if you want to know, I developed this film at home using Ilford DDX, which isn't on the spec sheet on the Filmwashi website, but they say to just use the Tri-X 400 dev times in developers, so I just used the massive dev chart, looked at what that said to shoot Tri-X at box speed with DDX, and I just went for that. But overall, I quite enjoyed shooting this. It's always nice to try just completely different weird films to kind of branch out from what you're used to, so I'd recommend it. But that's it for this video. Hope you like the images, and give us a follow on Instagram if you want to.